Hello guys and welcome to the spoilers for chapter 257 of Tokyo Revengers. And so you guys, in the spoilers we got, there were basically 10 different manga panels that got leaked today, and there was also just 3 pieces of dialogue. On the very first panel that we got in the spoilers, we see Kikucho, Takemichi and Sanzu. And Takemichi and Kikucho are both on the train. And Takemichi is trying to stop the train. But Takemichi is getting really frustrated because he cannot find which button is the right one. We also see that Takemichi started screaming in frustration, and he banged the control panel with both of his fists. And then Takemichi screams out, "Stop it." And when Takemichi screams stop, he is screaming at the train, and he is basically just telling the train to stop because he is desperate. And Sanzu is just sitting on the floor because Sanzu just got thrown off the train by Kikucho. We can also see that Sanzu's katana fell right behind his body. And in this panel we see that Sanzu has a smile on his face, and Sanzu looks like he is very happy. And then Sanzu says, "It is too late now, the train cannot be stopped at such a high speed." And so guys, in the next page Kikucho pushes Takemichi off of the train with his left hand. And Kikucho has a very desperate look on his face. In this panel Takemichi is flying off of the train. And so you guys, in this chapter Kikucho sacrificed himself in order to save Takemichi, and also to try to stop the train. Kikucho really did not want Takemichi to die, and so Kikucho decided to try to save everyone by stopping the train. On the next panel that we got in the spoilers, we see Kikucho, and we also see Izana Kurokawa. And Izana suddenly appeared, and Izana just showed up behind Kikucho. And then Izana started talking to Kikucho. Izana says, "I am going to help you, Kikucho." We have not seen Izana in so many chapters, but in this chapter Izana showed up in order to help Kikucho. Anyway guys, on to the next panel that got leaked today, and we see both Kikucho and Izana. And Kikucho is just crying, and at the same time Kikucho is bleeding from his mouth, and he has a lot of blood all over his face. And we can see that Izana is just standing behind Kikucho. In this page, Izana is wearing the Tenjuku gang uniform, and he is also wearing his signature earrings. And Kikucho has a flashback of Izana, and he is seeing Izana guide him. And then Izana says, "You are just as reckless as usual. I will help you, Kikucho." And in this panel Izana seems to lend his strength to Kikucho. And so you guys, on to the next panel that we got in the spoilers, and we can see Sanzu and Takemichi. In this panel Takemichi is smiling, and Takemichi looks like he is very happy. But at the same time, Takemichi is also crying. And it looks like Kikucho was able to stop the train, because I do not see why Takemichi would be happy if the train did not get stopped. In this panel Sanzu has a very surprised look on his face, and Sanzu is just standing there with his mouth open. And we can also see that Sanzu has a lot of sweat drops on his face, and he is also bleeding from his head. On the next panel we see a close-up of Takemichi's face. And Takemichi is standing up, and it looks like he is running. In this panel Takemichi has a big smile on his face, and he also has tears in his eyes. And we can also see that Takemichi is yelling, but the panel got cut off so we cannot see what he is saying. On the next panel, we can see many members from both gangs. We can also see that all of the delinquents are just standing on the train tracks. And all of the gang members have a very surprised look on their faces, because they just saw the train. And it looks like they are all staring at the train, because they just realized that the train got stopped by Kikucho. On the last page that we got in the spoilers, we can see a close-up panel of Kikucho's face. And Kikucho has his eyes closed in this page, and at the same time Kikucho is also crying. Kikucho looks very beaten up, and Kikucho is probably dead, because his body is not moving. We can see that Kikucho is also pointing his head downwards. And in this chapter Kikucho put everyone's lives on his shoulders, and he sacrificed his own life to save everyone. In the previous future vision of Takemichi, we saw that Sanzu was able to kill everyone by using the train. And Sanzu was able to use the train to cause the cargo containers to fall down onto the battlefield, and this is why we saw that all of the Toman members got their bodies crushed by the cargo containers. However, in this chapter, Kikucho was able to stop the future vision from happening, and this means that Kikucho was able to save everyone by stopping the train. But unfortunately it looks like Kikucho was not able to survive. However, I still think that Kikucho will need to reveal his last name before he dies, because Kikucho said that after his parents died, he threw away his real last name. And I am really hoping that we will still get to see the full backstory of Kikucho, because I want to find out Kikucho's true identity before he dies. And also, in this chapter Takemichi and Sanzu have both gotten pushed off of the train by Kikucho. And this means that they will probably fight each other again, because they will be very close to each other. In the last chapter Sanzu tried to attack Takemichi from a blind spot, and Sanzu was about to kill him, but Takemichi was able to dodge at the last minute. And this is what made Sanzu think that Takemichi is a time leaper. And this made me think that Sanzu is the time leaper, because Sanzu was able to figure out that a future vision is the only way Takemichi could have dodged an attack from a blind spot. And this means that Sanzu knows about future visions, because right after this moment happened he immediately thought that Takemichi is a time leaper. However, even if Sanzu is not a time leaper, he still would have to know a lot about time leaping to know what a future vision is. And I honestly can't wait to see Takemichi and Sanzu continue their conversation about time leaping, because I really want to learn the truth about the mystery behind Sanzu. And I cannot lie, when this panel came out it was so crazy, and I want to learn more about this plot twist. However, I also think there is a big possibility that Shuji Hanma is the real time leaper and Sanzu is just the trigger. I think that Hanma was going to be the final villain, and Hanma is just manipulating Sanzu for his own entertainment. And I also think that we still really need to see the backstory of how Hanma joined the Kanto Manji gang. And so I hope that we will see the full backstory of how the Kanto Manji gang was created. There are many mysteries in the story that still need to be answered in this final arc. Anyway guys, that was all we got for the spoilers of chapter 257 of Tokyo Revengers. Also let me know what you guys think of the spoilers in the comments below. And like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one, and thank you for watching.